curiouser and curiouser. Tell me about this. Tell me about that. Tell me about everything. Some of us want to absorb the world and all its curiosities, and what makes that curiosity even more wonderful is when that gift is shared with someone else, and a someone else who truly cannot get enough of it either.
A soft-spoken, shy gentleman, my dad was also curious. The financial pressures of the time did not afford him the price of a formal education, but his curiosity was not expensive. A few extra dollars in his pocket bought a microscope, a collection of used art books, and a wooden box popped open with a tiny brass key unlocking and exposing the contents of the box. An array of a myriad of rainbow paints and horse-haired brushes in various sizes. It was an effort to always contain his excitement when curiosity nudged at his hungry mind. He dearly wanted to share his enthusiasm with someone who was also curious. And there I was, sitting right across the kitchen table, nibbling on a stick of celery, a young mind ready to absorb like a sponge. His brand new star pupil. My home education constantly flourished. Often my father and I would take the elevator up to the 6th story of our apartment building. As we left the elevator, we climbed a steel staircase leading us up to an unlocked red door and access to the rooftop. Carefully opening that red door, we stepped down onto the black tarred, uneven surface, carefully sidestepping the small hills that occasionally bubbled up when the summer heat cooked the tar. A crisscross of clotheslines and scattered beach chairs had to be circumvented as we made our way towards the edge of the rooftop, affording us an unobstructed bird's-eye view of the night sky. Summers we would whoop and cheer as we watched the fireworks displays shooting off from barges moored in the ocean off of the Coney Island beach. Other nights, my father would dig deeply into his plaid jacket, extracting a pair of binoculars and handing them to me so I might have an enlarged view of the moon and the stars, forming constellations called Orion, Big Dipper, and the haphazard sprinkle of millions and millions of stars called the Milky Way. On one particular evening in October 1957, my dad called my attention to a twinkling star crossing the horizon from east to west. "Hey, Princess, can you see that light crossing over? They're calling that little light Sputnik." "Well, I guess that's score one for the Russians, but I bet we'll be beating them to the moon one day soon," he bragged. Despite all lessons and wonders Dad shared with me, by far my favorite was strictly for extra credit Sundays after our breakfast of bagels, cream cheese, and lox. It was time for me to make a decision. "Which museum would you favor today, Princess?" my father would ask. No surprises. I always chose the Metropolitan Museum of Art, where I could wander the streets of ancient Egypt, enter an 18th century French parlor, or roam from room to room admiring famous paintings. When the day was devoted to the painting of the day, both of us would stand before a canvas while tapping our fingers against the side of our noses, pondering out loud our personal interpretation and critique of the artist's talent. So what are your thoughts? He waited for my response as I tried to discern the message that the painting was conveying to my imagination. "You know what, Princess? Hold that thought and let's talk more about it at our next destination. I'm getting hungry. How about you?" It was a long walk, but one that I never minded because I could hold my father's hand as he explained the various architectural forms and history of the buildings that we passed. We strolled by exotic and unique boutique shops selling treasures from around the world. My favorite was the pet shop, where cute little kittens and puppies resided in the glass window. "We're almost there," my dad would announce. "Just a few more blocks." And there it was. 1165 6th Avenue, New York, New York, home of the famous eatery, the Horn and Hardart Automat. Oh my gosh, my taste buds were already exploding in anticipation. What will it be today, Princess? The usual? Meatloaf, mashed potatoes, and cream spinach? Tell the lady at the counter your order. While you're waiting, take this coin and select your dessert. Put the coin in the slot next to the glass compartment, open the little glass door, and voila, your feast awaits. Savoring the last drizzle of chocolate on my dessert plate, I would lick it clean until a remnant of a chocolate mustache inevitably graced my upper lip. I would offer my father a grateful burp and form the words in my head that I knew would always bring a smile to his face. Daddy, thank you for today. I love you so much. You're my favorite artist, even better than any of them in the museum. The Bleeding Cow is my most favorite of all the paintings in the whole wide world. I would watch his face as his smile grew brighter. Okay, Princess, here's a napkin. Dip the end of the napkin into your water glass and wipe that chocolate from your mouth. And I love you too. I'll always cherish those Sundays and the flourish of my dad's bow as he held open the double glass doors as his princess exited the automat.